Good afternoon. Happy Republic Day to all of you. Today, on the occasion of the Republic Day, I am going to speak about the legal procedure. Already introductory part about the forensic medicine I have taken in last lecture. Today's lecture will concentrate about the basic things related to the law and order and medical science. As a responsible citizen, we should also know different legal basic things related to the society as well as the medical. So my today's lecture will be on the what is CRPC, what is IPC, what is Civil Procedure Code, what are different types of inquests carried out in India, and most important, what are different types of the offenses, criminal cases, and different types of the courts in India. So it is a coincidence or it's my fortune that today on the occasion of the 26th January, I am taking this lecture related to the legal procedure. So first we have seen about what is the definition of the forensic medicine. So definition of the forensic medicine is that application of scientific medical knowledge in a court of law for the administration of the justice. So that is the definition of the forensic medicine. And definition of the medical jurisprudence is the legal aspect of practice of medicine. So these two basic things we have learned in the last lecture. Today we will concentrate on different basic things. That is what is Criminal Procedure Code and the other name is the CRPC. Criminal Procedure Code is related to the investigation and what are the types of the evidences must be collected. That's related to the criminal offenses like murder, dacoity, sexual offenses. That is Criminal Procedure Code. Another is Indian Penal Code, that is IPC. So what are the punishments related to the different criminal offenses that are described under Indian Penal Code or IPC? All you know the 320 IPC. What is 320 IPC? 320 IPC describes the punishment related to the murder. Then there is the Civil Procedure Code. So name suggests the Civil Procedure Code related to the procedure or inquiry, investigation, what are the types of the evidence should be collected related to the civil cases. What are the civil cases? Civil cases are the disputes related to the land, family, etc. So criminal cases, that is Criminal Procedure Code is for criminal cases and Civil Procedure Code is for civil cases. And what are the IEA, that is Indian Evidence Act. Indian Evidence Act is related to what are the different types of the evidences that should be produced in a court of law. So you know that, you must have heard that for giving the justice, you have to produce evidences in a court of law. What are different types of evidences? What is primary evidence? What is secondary evidence? What is dying declaration? What is dying? All we are going to learn in the next lecture. But time being, remember that evidence is very important. And without production of a proper evidence in front of the court or judge, you will not get the proper justice. So proper justice you have to produce the evidences. So what are the acts related to the different evidences? How chain of custody must be maintained? How the evidence must be produced in front of the judge? So that all are the procedure related that is known as the Indian Evidence Act. So is it clear up till now? That is what is Criminal Procedure Code. Criminal Procedure Code is related to the criminal cases like doucety, murder, or sexual offences. Civil Procedure Code is related to the civil cases like a dispute between land, dispute between families. So these are the simpler side of this. That is the civil procedure. And what are the punishment related to the each? That is what is the punishment for the criminal cases? What are the punishment for the civil cases? That all are different under the Indian Penal Code. That is IPC. And what the for the given proper justice, evidence should be produced in a court of law. So what are the types of evidences? How they must be produced? Or how the chain of custody must be maintained while producing the evidences? That is discussed under the Indian Evidence Act. So these are the basic things related to the legal procedure in India. So now we will see the important thing. What is inquest? So the other or civilian name of inquest is inquiry. But inquiry is a part of the inquest. So what is the book definition of the inquest? Inquest is the legal inquiry into the cause of death for the days where the death had occurred in unnatural condition. I will again repeat, inquest is defined as inquiry. Which inquiry? Legal inquiry. So legal word is very important. So inquest is legal inquiry of what? Of the cause of death. And what type of death? Of an unnatural death. So like that, whenever you are reading, whenever you are learning, so you should take or understand that thoroughly. So what is inquest? Inquest is the legal inquiry into cause of death, where death has occurred in unnatural conditions. What are unnatural conditions? Like suicide, homicide, accident. These are the unnatural ways of the death. So, inquest, again I repeat, is legal inquiry into cause of death, where death has occurred in unnatural conditions like suicide, homicide, and accident. So, what are the types of the inquest? Broadly, all over the world, 4 types of the inquest carried out, that is police inquest, magistrate inquest, coroner inquest, and medical examiner system of the inquiry. So, I have a question, what are the inquests carried out all over the world? So, you have to tell all these 4, that is police inquest, magistrate inquest, coroner inquest, and the medical examination. But in India, only 2 types of the inquests are carried out, that is police inquest and the magistrate inquest. So remember, that is again the Viva question, what are the inquests carried out in India? Your answer must be that only 2 types of the inquests carried out in India. What are they? Police inquest and magistrate inquest. Previously, in 90s, there was another type of the inquest present in India, that was coroner inquest. But nowadays, coroner inquest is not present. Well, it was present in a metropolitan cities like Kolkata and Mumbai. But it is now not present in any part of the India. So many times in a hurry or under tension in examination, you write also about the coroner inquest. But what is the question? Question is, what are the inquests carried out in India? Then your answer must be only 2. That is police inquest and magistrate inquest. Don't write about coroner inquest because it was carried out in India, but nowadays it is not at all carried out in India. Clear? Then I will go in a detail about police inquest and magistrate inquest. As your short-term goal is that you have to pass second year MBBS, that is forensic medicine subject, So you have to write theory as well as practical. So many times the short note come on a police inquest or magistrate inquest. And what is your long-term goal? That you want to become a successful medical practitioner. So that your concept must be clear. For clearance of your concept, so you should know in thoroughly about the police inquest and the magistrate inquest. So at first, I will speak about the police inquest. So police inquest is the inquest carried out by the police officer. It is the commonest inquest carried out in India. Police officer, his designation must be up to head constable or above that. So whenever he knows that any unnatural condition has been occurred, then he at first informs to the nearest magistrate, that is executive magistrate. If it is at taluka place or village, then he has to inform that executive magistrate, like a tahsildar, or if it is in metropolis, like the collector, deputy collector, take his permission. After taking his permission, police officer visits the scene of crime. In presence of two responsible persons from the society, he starts his inquest. So these two responsible persons are known as pansas. If the dead body is of a lady, then the third woman must be present as a pansas. And whatever he writes, his name, age, sex, what are the clothes present, what are the injuries present on the body, all the circumstances of the death, all these reports is known as Panchanama. After that, he himself, police officer himself signs that. And also the two witnesses, and in case of female body, the third witness signs that. So this report is known as Panchanama. If the police officer satisfies that there is no foul play, then he can directly hand over that body to the relatives. But if the police officer doesn't satisfy, then he requests the medical practitioner to do the postmortem examination. That is the nearest government hospital. He refers that dead body for the postmortem. So after the death, after the MLC case, or after the unnatural death, whenever remember this concept must be clear in your mind, that if that is the MLC case and the death has occurred in an unnatural condition, then you have to inform police. Then who is the owner of dead body? The police officer is the owner of the dead body. And what 174 CRPC says? That if the police officer is satisfied there is no foul play, he can directly hand over that body to the relative. But if police officer doesn't satisfy that, then he can request or to the medical officer, government medical officer of a nearest primary health center or civil hospital to do the postmortem examination. Many times what happens, in unnatural condition, death occurs. Then doctor tells the relative that postmortem. He has to tell. But remember that and the relative doesn't want postmortem because there is the social stigma. Many times with that there is a quarrel between the doctor and the relative. So to avoid that, what you should diplomatically say that in unnatural death cases, I am not the owner. Police officer is the owner of the dead body. And if police officer satisfied that there is no foul play, he can directly hand over that body to you. I am not authority. So you request that police officer for that. Why you are quarreling with me? So like that, if you explain with the empathetically with the relatives, then they have to request to the police officer. And you know that police officer are laymen. They don't have that medical scientific knowledge about that unnatural thing. So he ultimately advises the postmortem examination to the nearest center. So at that time diplomatic and say with confidence that I am not the owner of the dead body. Owner is the police officer. If police officer gives you dead body without postmortem examination, you can take it. So don't argue with me. You request to the police officer. Like that situation you have to handle. So again I will repeat, police inquest is carried out by a police officer whose designation is more than head constable. Then after permission of executive magistrate, he visits to the scene of crime. Write all the information, gender, approximate age, if known body, then the name, age, sex, all these things, what are the injuries present, what are the clothes present, and in presence of two witnesses, known as Panchad, and in female body, third, that is, the woman is present. After that, he writes his report known as Panchanama. Do his signature, does his signature, and also the signature of the two or three witnesses, and that is known as the police inquiry. Is it clear? And what CRPC? That is 174 CRPC. The police inquiry. There is magistrate inquiry, that 176 CRPC. Magistrate, like executive magistrate are told at the taluka place, there is the Tahsildar, Upa Tahsildar, or collector, deputy collector. So that, and under what circumstances magistrate inquiry is carried out? That is carried out in police firing cases, death in police custody, death in police interrogation, dowry death, that is the death of a woman under the 7 years of the marriage, and in exhumation cases. What is exhumation? Exhumation is the digging out of the dead body. So there is the already dead body buried, but afterwards someone claims that there is there is some illegal thing that occurs. Then again that buried dead body can be exhumated. And who carries or who gives that to this one? By a magistrate. So these are the conditions under which magistrate inquest is carried out. That magistrate inquest is carried out under 176 CRPC. That is, death in police firing, death in police custody, then death in police interrogation, then in a dowry death, and in an exhumation. So that is about the inquest. Coronal inquest, it was previously carried out in Mumbai and Kolkata, not now. There is also jury system, but not now present in India. Medical examiner system is the best system because, and usually it is carried out in USA and UK. There is team. There is in that team, there is the police officer, there is lawyer, there is a medical examiner system, medical expert, pathologist, forensic expert, all these things go to the scene of crime, collect the evidences, and this is the best type of the inquest carried, but it is not present in India. So this is all about the inquest. Police inquest, 174 CRPC. Magistrate inquest, 176 CRPC. Maybe MCQ on there, or the Viva. Is it clear? Then what are the offenses? Cognizable offenses, non-cognizable. These are the offenses which are described in Schedule 1, and without warrant, police officer can arrest anybody. So what are the offenses? These are like a murder, deceit. These are the cognizable offenses that without warrant, police officer can arrest them. So, and non-cognizable offenses, that is, these are the lesser severe types. So less severe types. And these are the non-cognizable offense. Here the warrant is required. Without warrant, police officer cannot arrest. So these are the types of the offenses. Then what are types of cases? Criminal case. Criminal cases are again cognizable, that is like a murder. That case is non-cognizable, that without warrant, like a dispute in land, negligence, etc. Warrant case is the case where the punishment is up to life imprisonment. And summons case are the case where the punishment is below 2 years. So again, I ask the why, what is summons case? Many students tell about summons. Summons is different and summons case is different. Summons case where the punishment is below 2 years. While warrant case is punishment above 2 years up to life imprisonment. And there is complaint case that someone has complained about another. So these are about the cases. Cases are again depend upon the offenses. If offense is the criminal type, it becomes criminal case. If the offense is that of the non-cognizable type, then it becomes non-cognizable case. Warrant case where the punishment is more than 2 years up to life imprisonment. Summons case is the below 2 years. Then there is the police case. There is complaint case. And there are different types of civil cases, I already told you. Then what are the criminal courts in India? So these are the, you all know, there is the Supreme Court, and the name to it is the Supreme one. Whatever the decision the Supreme Court, it is binding to all the citizens of the India. So no appeal, only appeal of a way the death sentence is given, then that mercy application can be done to the President of the India. Otherwise, whatever the justice given by Supreme Court, that is binding all over the India. Is it clear? So that is about the Supreme Court. Only in case of a death sentence that the mercy application can be given to the President of the India. Then there is High Court. Usually it is situated in a capital of each state. But as a Maharashtra state, it is the big state. There are the parts or in Aurangabad, there is the High Court. Mumbai, there is another High Court. And third is at the Nagpur. So these are the divisions of the High Court can be present in the, if the state is more. I have given example of the Maharashtra, that is Mumbai, Nagpur and Aurangabad, and in Marathi it is called as Khandapit. Then Session Court usually present at the district level. And High Court also can give any punishment. But that person can appeal to the Supreme Court if he is not satisfactory. Like Session Court present at each district. Again, if district is more larger, then there may be additional Session Court, there may be the assistant Session Court. And Session Court also can give any punishment under the law, even the death sentence. But if the death sentence is given by Session Court, it must be confirmed by a bench of at least 2 judges of the High Court, even if appeal is not done. So if the Session Court has given a death sentence, then that sentence must be confirmed by a bench of a High Court judges. At least 2 High Court judges must be present. And even if the appeal is not present, still the High Court judges has to confirm the death sentence that is given by Session Court. So there is Session Court at district level, High Court at the state capital of each state. If the state is larger, many other other big cities, the divisions of the High Court can be present. Then the only Supreme Court present in Delhi. Session Court, High Court, Supreme Court can give a death sentence. Whatever the judgment given by Supreme Court, it is binding to all. Only in case of a death sentence, that mercy application can be done to the President of India, and then the President will decide. Then High Court has additional duty that if the Session Court has given death sentence, at least 2 judges of High Court must sit and confirm that death sentence. Then there are the Court of the Magistrate, that is Chief Judicial Magistrate, Judicial Magistrate of first class, second class Judicial Magistrate, and Court of Juvenile Offender or Special Judicial Magistrate. So Chief Judicial Magistrate, or if that city is metropolitan city, then it is Chief Metropolitan Magistrate, and this has a power that they can give the punishment up to 7 years and fine without the limit. While first class Judicial Magistrate can give the punishment up to the 3 years and fine up to 10,000. While second class Judicial Magistrate can give punishment up to 1 year and fine up to the 5,000 rupees. So Chief Judicial Magistrate 7-year punishment without limit of the fine. First class Judicial Magistrate 3 years punishment and 10,000 fine. While second class Judicial Magistrate 1 year punishment and 5,000 fine. And there are special that juvenile court, That is with the juvenile. Now the juvenile age has been is 16. Previously it was 18. But after Nirbhaya case, it is decreased up to the 16. So juvenile offender is considered up to the 16. Then special judicial magistrate. That is, if the other sensitive cases are there, and there must be there is the justice should be there in a speedy, then there the special judicial magistrate court can be appointed by the government. So these are all about the criminal code. Then what are the different types of the witnesses? There are different types of the witnesses, like there is the common witness, then there is expert witness, then there is hostile witness. Doctor can act as a common witness when he sees something that someone is stabbing another. If he tells in a court, he becomes a common witness. Expert witness when the judge asks him or court asks him that can that weapon causes that injury. So knife can cause that injury which is sustained by that person. Then that can be, if doctor says yes, this is the weapon, and with this weapon that injury can be possible, he becomes expert witness. Hostile witness. What is hostile witness? That he has given one. He would have seen a court of law. And after that he changes or alters his sentence. Then it becomes hostile witness. And as my student, and as our to maintain our dignity of our profession, doctor never be a hostile witness. So what are type of witnesses? Common witness, expert witness, and hostile witness. So what a common witness? What the layman can be a common witness. What he sees, if he tells in a court, that becomes common witness. Expert witness, like a medical man can act as expert witness. Fingerprint expert, ballistic expert, so handwriting expert. So there are different types of the expert. If they give their expertise in a court of law for the administration of justice, they become expert witness. An hostile witness is a person who alters his sentence. That is known as hostile witness. Then there is one word. What is perjury? So perjury is that the telling falsehood under the oath is known as a perjury. So you should act as a, always act as a expert witness, common witness, don't act as a hostile witness. So that's all for today's lecture. So what I have covered? I have covered about different things, that is about the legal, what is criminal procedure code, what is Indian penal code, what is civil and Indian evidence act. Then what are inquest, police inquest, magistrate inquest, coroner's inquest, medical examination, what is cognizable offense, what is non-cognizable offense, what are types of criminal cases, that is cognizable, non-cognizable, warrant, summons, police, complaint case, civil case, etc. Then different we have seen about courts, that is what are the powers of Supreme Court, what are powers of High Court, what are powers of Session Court, what is Chief Judicial Magistrate, what are power of Chief Judicial Magistrate, Magistrate of first class, second class, what is Juvenile Court, and Special Judicial Magistrate Court. So that then we have seen different types of witnesses, that is primary, what is common witness, expert witness, and lastly about the hostile witness, what is perjury. Thank you very much for your patience here.